Clayton Anderson joining us now, along with our good friend Chris Denary from the Pacers. Clayton performing this weekend in Bloomington at the Full Ride Tour, kicking it off at with opening up for Kane Brown and John Party and Jesse Murph, as well as he's a big Pacers fan, big sports fan all the way around. Last time, well, not the last time I saw him, but ran into him last year up in New York. He was sitting in the booth right next door, and I didn't even know it. But got to have some fun with him then. But Chris, big country fan as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so great to have you both on.
Yeah, I was just scrolling here through my iTunes. Let's see, Clayton. I think I've got like 40 or 50 songs from Clayton Anderson. He's wonderful. I've run into Clayton backstage at some things, and he's a huge basketball fan. And when you grow up in Indiana, you got to be a basketball fan. And so, Clayton, it's great to share the stage with you here. Can't wait to. I mean, that you were just saying off air about the stage at Memorial Stadium, how big it is, and what kind of show it's going to be this weekend with Kane Brown and John Party.
It's monstrous. It will be by far the biggest stage I've been on. It's bigger than the Indy 500 stage that we got to play on with Zach Brown and with Keith Urban. But it was honestly, it gave me cold chills. I mean, I'm a Hoosier through and through. But when I snuck in, I legally snuck into Memorial Stadium and kind of came up the tunnel and to see it. It was really crazy. I've been begging for him to do a big show like this for a long time, and it hasn't happened since 1986. John Mellencamp playing it. So
I was there, baby. I was there.
Jim, you know what's interesting?
I mean,
Clayton, and I want to get this from you. You know what's interesting is it seems like all the musical acts want to be athletes, and all the athletes want to be musical acts. I know. I'm a big Darius Rucker fan and an old Hootie and the Blowfish fan. And when I had a chance to meet Mark Bryan and those guys, and they said when they were at South Carolina, we wanted to either be an athlete or a broadcaster, and they became musicians. And I said, well, I think you could do what I do a whole lot easier than I could do what you do. But Clayton, to that point, I mean, what you do, it's like an athlete. I mean, you're an entertainer. You got to put in the time, and you're a performer, and you got to be on each and every night, don't you?
Absolutely. I think I take a lot of my drive from playing sports. You know, in high school, it was everything. You practiced nonstop, and I've taken that, and even when I was in college, it's like, it's just what drives you. And I always dreamed of playing basketball. I dreamed of getting to play at IU. I dreamed of so this to me is like the next best thing, to be out on a field like that. To last year when I got to sing my song Indiana at the girls basketball game, which was, I mean, I was getting choked up. It was actually kind of hard to finish it. I mean, Assembly Hall was packed. So those are things that I dreamed of as a kid, getting to play at IU and so music is just that next thing. But it is really cool, the camaraderie between the athletes and the artists, because it is true. We want to be each other a lot of times.
Well, we get to do that. It's going to be awesome it's amazing to me that there has not been a concert at Memorial Stadium since that Mellencamp concert. Is that almost 40 years ago? Come on.
Yeah.
38 years ago? Yeah. Why?
I'd have to believe this is going to start something, though, right, Clayton? I mean, when you think about people, I love indoor concerts, but I love outdoor concerts. I mean, as a performer, is there any difference for you being, in this big football stadium, or being at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, or, being downtown Indianapolis than being in a smaller venue?
I definitely love that. I'm with you. I love the outside venue myself. There's something about it. It reminds me more of, I get more fired up because I feel like I'm tailgating for a football game, or I'm outside fired up. You can go out and party in the parking lot and then roll in, and it's just got a different atmosphere. It's got a different smell. Like all your senses go together, and when you're outside and when you're with a group of people, music, I think, is so powerful anyway. I think it really brings us together, and inside just feels, I don't know, it just feels a little more staged. Outside, I love rolling outside anytime, unless the weather's bad. But we're going to be great tomorrow. Or on Saturday. Thank goodness. It's raining like crazy now. I'm over it.
Oh, it's been raining for the last 2 days here. It's getting it out of the way. I think it's going to be it's cleaning up the football stadium. That's what it's doing. It's making sure it's all nice
cleaning
and
up
clean.
the mess. Hey, by the way, I know we're talking basketball, but I know we're IndyCar guys too. What about Kyle Larson yesterday on the dang?
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, I think he was second fastest that I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, Clayton. I'm approaching year 25 in turn 4. And yeah, just following what I followed yesterday with Kyle Larson. I mean, he could drive anything, right? He could get on a lawnmower and probably make it go fast. But it is going to be fascinating to see what he does in the Indianapolis 500 and pulling that double. I mean, we have rarely seen that. But for him to get in an Indy car yesterday and go that fast, incredible.
Yeah. When I've been out there at the dirt track races when he's raced out there, and it's what you said. He can get in anything and win. That dude is just a racer. It's pretty. He reminds me a lot of Tony Stewart. He can drive anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he has that background. He's dirt track racing. It doesn't matter. He still does it all. He still races the Chili Bowl, whatever the case may be. But yeah, Chris has been in turn 4, like he just said, for all these years. He's seen a lot of races. And there's been plenty of other people that have tried to make this crossover. And I guess the most successful was Kurt Busch. Was his finish the best?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of all the people. Yeah, I mean, Kurt Busch was pretty good. What he
I think
did.
he finished like 7th one year.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing about both those races, I mean, the Coke 600 and the 500 is you can have a great car, but if you're not in the right position at the right time, it doesn't matter. So it will be interesting to see. But you're right. I mean, I think over the years, I've told people 2 of the races that I really remember with the calls that I had was when Hornish passed Marco Andretti. Andretti was poised to win as a teenager at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and Hornish got him coming out of 4. And then Clayton, remember J.R. Hildebrand? I mean, he is leading. He is leading the Indianapolis 500, and all he has to do is make that final turn, and he goes
Don't wreck.
Yeah. I mean, incredible.
He wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.